guys, good morning. It is Sunday morning. It is 8:15 a.m. Sunday, July. I was just looking at the date. July 17th. No, it's not the 17th. It's July 12th. Sunday, July 12th. Excuse me, I just put some water on my face. I was a little hot. And I hope you can see me good. I didn't want to turn the light on because I'm not going to be long. I just wanted to take a moment to say to each and every one of you, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hey. Ho. Hey. Ho. Happy Sunday. Sometimes when I do that, I irritate my face when I throw water on it, because now the water is running and it feel like something's on you. You know, makes your skin itch. Mine's anyway. And then you got the cat fur everywhere. I didn't do anything with my hair. I just pulled it back in a ponytail. I washed it yesterday. Not blow dried it. I washed and conditioned, but did not do anything with it. Not at all. I do need to get up this morning at some point throughout the day, and get up and get myself together and get myself ready for work tomorrow. I do need to hit the store. I didn't do anything yesterday. I actually slept all day Saturday. When I say all day, it's exactly what I mean. I woke up here and there, tried to watch TV here and there. Really wasn't much of anything interesting on. I watched some old movies, shark movies, things like that. I watched one that caught my attention. It was called Shark in the Hood. In just the letter N, the as D-A, the hood. I said, well, that's different. It was so stupid. The title told you it was stupid, but thought I would check it out. It was stupid, but I watched the whole thing. Oh, my coffee is so good. I need to put it back in the microwave for a minute, but I don't feel like it. The picture I was trying to tell y'all about yesterday that I wanted to refer to you guys to is called Hungry. That was the picture about the hippo. It's called Hungry. I liked it. Watch it. I think it was good. But I think everything that recently, for the most part, came out, I watched, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Most recent is Moana. I still haven't been able to see that. It's not playing yet. I did get up this morning, as you can see, make some coffee. I had like a half a pack of oatmeal left. I forgot I was out of butter, but I still made it work. This has cinnamon and apples, and those apples smell so good. That's what I have for breakfast this morning. My dad texted me yesterday to say that there was no church was canceled for this morning. In doing that, you got anywhere to go this morning?
Right now, no.
I'm thinking about. You got gas? I want to take myself down on Madison to the CVS and see if I can get an appointment for preventive.
Oh.
He's been doing that all morning. He has food in his bowl. Yeah, he did it to me too. I wanted to do a preventive, and then after that, I have a few dollars to go get some.
What?
A preventive care, because so they can do like a checkup. Your job requires it. Until I do, they're going to be taking out $600 out of my check, but they're going to take it in like I think it said $62 a check or 32, until I have the good thing about it is after I have the maintenance, they'll refund the money back, which is cool. Most companies ain't giving you nothing back. They be like, you should have did it already.
I just got up, so now I don't know.
Okay, and then I just, like I said, we need to grab a few things from the grocery store. I was thinking about waiting on Lavelle, but Lavelle ain't been sitting still lately, and yesterday I was tired.
You got work today?
Yeah. So yeah, guys, and then I need to dollar store and get me some ibuprofen for this tooth. What was I finna tell y'all before Jeremiah walked through? I forget, but yeah, I was going to yesterday look online for different, like, apartments and homes and cars and all of that. It's like, why even bother when right now I can't do anything if I found something I liked, right? And then I thought about, I was just sitting here and I was clicking around on YouTube, and I saw this influencer that I watch sometimes. I really like him. He's adopted a son. The baby was 2 days old when he got the call. So he's had the baby since it was born, basically. Didn't have to go through a whole lot of hoops, but did, like, go through hoops. And I believe it was because it was just meant for him, you know. I know that there are not everybody was meant to go to heaven. I understand this. But we all have the opportunity, you know, if we believe and trust and, you know, that God is. And we follow his will, his word, as much as we possibly can. We are not perfect, and God is aware of that. He knows this. So he's not looking for 100% perfection. We could never deliver 100% perfection. Everyone has and will sin at some point. Repent though you may, and believe it and mean it. I guarantee it. You'll do it again or something else. God's aware of this. I don't know what to say, if it should be but. I don't know. I just know that I'm so confused when it comes down to, there are a lot of people out here who, as far as the Bible, when you read the Bible and what the Lord says, and what has happened, you know that it's not good for man to lay with man and woman to lay with woman. Nowhere in the Bible did God say he created, was it said that God created woman from woman for woman, or man from man for man. That's not what happened. God created Adam, God created Eve, man and woman, for them to be fruitful and multiply. And then you have to think, if they're being fruitful and they're multiplying, the kids that they're having are obviously sleeping with one another. So it's an ancestral thing going on there, is what's coming on, was in my head. And so that part is confusing for me. And I think I asked my dad one time, he said, you know, times back then were a little bit different. And I get it, but it's almost the same, because if you think about it, if they were the first man and woman, and they're fruitful and multiply, we're all technically from Adam and Eve then, from that era, right? Even when God wiped away, you know, when there was the flood, right? The people that were left was from Adam and Eve, right? If Adam and Eve are the only two on this planet, you know, that God created, and they were the only two that were being fruitful and multiplying, and then their fruit was multiplying, and that fruit was multiplying, that's telling me that they're all coming from basically Adam and Eve. We're all Adam and Eve. regardless of what color we are, because you can have two black people give birth to a light-skinned child because of the DNA, the ancestry, right? So it that boggles me a bit, but I trust God. Don't question it, but it does make you think. It makes you wonder, and I know that there are a lot of questions that we may never have the answers to. It's like sometimes your parents say, do as I say, not as I do. Just do as you were told to do. That's how I see that. But it does make you go, man, Okay. Now, moving on from that, when it comes down to, like I said, men with men, women with women, there are some beautiful couples out there, some beautiful people. Although they are, I don't want to say confused, although their style is different than mine's, they're beautiful. There are some beautiful people out there. There's some people out there that are kinder than your average person, much kinder than the actual person that goes to church every day and talk about God and Jesus, and love and love and love and love. But they don't show love. They don't give love. They don't really practice what they preach. They only do it on the outside. They don't do it when ain't nobody else looking, right? But you have some people out there that are genuinely beautiful people inside and out, but their lifestyle, as far as their partners that they choose, are different from what we have been brought up and feel and think is incorrect, right? The world has really changed so much, but at the same time, it's almost going backwards, or just never changed, just slowed down a bit. Just like with prejudice, it never changed. It never went nowhere. It's still here. Maybe worse than before. Because before they was flat out open with it. You knew who you couldn't trust. Now, you can't tell a lot of times until they make themselves known. And in some cases, they make themselves known at the wrong time. At a moment where you're in a position that you can't do anything. But I said all of that. I got a bit sidetracked what I was trying to say. This gentleman that I watch sometimes, he has some of the most inspirational words. His journey, he's always wanted to be a father. I think I'm sorry, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, I think his dad was absent, but he had very strong, beautiful women around him to teach him. But as far as that male role, I don't remember if he had a lot of male positive role models, but definitely the absence of that dad, if I'm not mistaken. And he's from the islands. I forget what island he said he was from, but he's always wanted to be a dad, and so he had signed up to foster adopt, and it had been years. He hadn't heard anything, and he didn't even think or know if he should do it, because he felt like they're not gonna call or choose me. I'm single, I'm gay, whatever. But his mom said, do it anyway, fill it out anyway, because if you don't, you're gonna beat yourself up and you're never gonna forget about it. You're gonna always regret it and wish that you had. Anyway, he did, and maybe, I think he said 2 years later, I think it was, he was working and got a call, and the call came on his personal phone, so obviously he didn't recognize it, don't know what the number is, didn't answer, but they kept calling. So he's like, let me answer this. He was like, hello, and he's a content creator, so he was a little irritated that whoever it was calling on his phone. So when he found out who it was, he thought it was a scam, and he was like, okay, well, on the paperwork, y'all have I gave y'all a number to call. Why are you calling this number? And the young lady on the line was saying, well, given the urgency of why we're calling, we wanted to get through to you. And so at that point, his whole tone changed when he realized that it wasn't a scam. This really is, the place. And so they said, we have a baby. Well, first, are you still interested in da-da-da? He said, yes. And they said, well, we have a baby that was born. Baby's 2 days old. We cannot give you any information other than that. We just need either a yes or a no. And the reason they do that is because people are so picky and choosy. If you're going to love a child, you're going to love that child. He said, yes, absolutely. He doesn't care if it's a boy or girl or what, yes. And so after work, he went down, and that's when they were able to give him a little bit more information. And normally they don't do skin to skin and all of that soon, or anything like that. But they asked him if he wanted to hold the baby. He said, yeah. And because the baby had not smiled, had not just done anything since it was born, mind you, it's 2 days old, the baby was just there, kind of. But when he held that baby, the baby grabbed his finger and held on so tight and looked up at him and smiled. They was like, oh my God, we have not seen that baby do anything. And so they went ahead and kind of broke the rules a little bit and then let him do skin to skin and just, the judge, things just kind of started to move kind of rapidly in as far as that was concerned. The judge was like, I want to meet the person, which they said normally don't happen. But the judge was insistent on meeting whoever's deciding to take this baby. And so when he met the judge immediately pushed the paperwork through. It was like, you just promised me you're going to take care of this baby. And you're going to And he said, yes, sir, I will. That judge died soon after. He said it was as if the judge knew then that he was dying, that I think he had cancer, that he may not be around to see how this progresses. And so he was saying, promise you'll do this, that, and the other, and it just all made sense, fell in place. And when things like that happen, I feel like it's God, right? And it's like, just because people's lifestyles as far as their partners are different than what we call normal, does that mean God don't show up in their lives? No. I truly believe God loves them still. God loves us all. And yes, I don't know. I don't know when it comes down to that, because I've met some beautiful people whose lifestyle is different from mine, but they're genuinely beautiful people. They genuinely love and care so much for others, and it's just not. And they could be lying like heck. I would never know. I would never know. But God made this possible. And so, and now, he's kind of, he's a content creator, so his life is pretty much out there. He shares for other people that may have gone through the same experiences, who are going through the same thing, whatever. But the baby is older now, and it's just so beautiful. I don't know what type of issues that he has, but I think the mom was young and abandoned him right away. The moment that she gave birth, I think they said that the doctors left out the room, the nurses left out the room for a minute, and they come back, she had unhooked herself and everything and left. Baby was in the room. So there was nothing. So obviously they had to figure out who she was, what's going on, so they can get these papers done, so this baby could get the love and the care that he needed. And so sometimes, so he shows as they gotten old. The baby has gotten a little bit older. I think now he's 3, maybe, I forget. But they have their outfit of the day type thing. And he's so cute. He just communicates to him like a little man, But he oftentimes has such inspiring and encouraging words. And today when I was flicking, he said something that I heard Steve Harvey say one day, but the way Steve Harvey delivered it, he delivered the same message, just a little bit different. Okay? And what this young man was saying was, say yes. Say yes when someone asks you to do something you normally would find a little off, or go on a trip or to do this or do that. Say yes. Experience life as much as you possibly can. He said, because sometimes in saying no or whatever, you are missing your blessing, because the blessing is not being presented to you in the way that you are expecting to receive that blessing. It's not being presented to you, delivered to you. It's not according to what you think or how you feel it should look. And Steve Harvey said something very, very similar. When you're praying to God, you trust and believe that He's going to answer that prayer, and you continue to move as such. But at the same time, don't take it upon yourself to make to answer the very prayer that you've already asked God, to answer what you've already asked God to answer, to provide what you've already asked God to provide, right? He said, because God, the moment that prayer left your lips or was in your thought, He already made a way, right? Your blessing already on the way, right? He already put it in the mail. It's on the way. Problem is, if you don't stay home, meaning in that place, I trust God, I'm going to let God handle it, you're going to not be there when that blessing comes. Meaning, and I'm trying to explain this the best way I know how. Meaning if God, say you're expecting God, like you're asking God for something, but then you're going to, at the same time, tell God how to bring you the blessing, tell God how much you want of the, no, you can't do that, right? And so don't expect that. If you're praying, God is going to answer you and respond. It may be in a way that you never could have expected, right? So don't expect God to deliver your blessing by FedEx when actually the blessing is on its way by UPS, right? Well, because you're looking for FedEx, UPS gets there, you're going to completely miss the package. You're going to leave it on the porch because you're not going to be home. Somebody else will get that blessing. Somebody going to walk by and steal your blessing. Pick it right on up like they do today. Pick your package up and keep on moving. God has delivered your package through UPS, but you expecting FedEx, right? You expecting the best, you're expecting the best wrapping there is. And it was just something simple and beautiful, right? But you missed it because it did not come when you wanted to, because you was expecting it 2 days ago, right? It came a week later. You was expecting a bigger package than what you got. So, man, and this young man pretty much did the same thing. God is blessing you, yet you don't see it or receive it because that blessing did not come the way you thought it was coming. So we really do have to be, as much as we possibly can, mindful of these things. And it is so much easier said than done, you guys. It really is, because we already want, desire, and feel as though we deserve so much. And we already put our own thoughts and perspectives on things and how we think it should be. And it's just not always that simple or delivered in that way. And we have to be so mindful of that. We have to, I believe that part, that's what it means when it says let go and let God. Get off of it. Physically, emotionally, mentally, get off of whatever it is. Get off of it. Let it go. Let God, let God, let God. I watched another young lady. She was doing a video a content creator, and I just sometimes just be flicking when I'm tired, and I don't have anything particular that I want to watch, but my mind is racing kind of. I'm just flicking, and this young lady, her house was so junky, and I started to lay there. I was laying there thinking, do they stage that? Do they make their house junky and then do a video? Because sometimes I'll be looking at homes, I'll be like, how can you even allow your home to get to that state and then do a video? Especially when you're doing Clean With Me videos on a regular. How is this possible? I can't go a day. When I get up in the morning, I'm cleaning up something. So I'm just like, how? But then I had to bring it back, because you don't know what a person's situation is, what mentally, physically, emotionally, financially someone is going through. And I had to go back even further and think, I was in a place like that. I was in a mental space like that where I didn't care anymore about nothing. I didn't care if the bills got paid. I didn't care about I was done. I was like, I'm over it. And in being in a space like that, it affects everyone around you, especially people around you that cannot take care of themselves, that are relying and depending on you, right? And you don't even think about that at the time, right? You're really not thinking about anything. You're just overwhelmed. You're fed up. You're done. There's a type of depression there, and I have suffered depression. It's not a joke. It's not a disease that you get up and pick and choose. No. I had a doctor tell me that is a chemical freaking imbalance, right? Because I'm like, there were times I was depressed and I couldn't even understand why am I depressed. There were times I was depressed, I didn't even know I was depressed. I didn't even know back as a kid I was depressed until I became an adult. When I looked back on some of the things that I did and did not do as a child, that was depression. It was a sign of depression. I was not aware of it, right? It wasn't until, like I said, I became an adult that it made freaking sense. That doctor told me it is a physical imbalance. There's medication for it, right? They're all different types of medications, right? But I choose not to take medications. I decided there was times when I wanted to take my own life. And the only reason, there's only two reasons on this earth why I did not. One was because of my kids. Two was because I didn't want to go to hell. I may not know or remember or recall a lot. I do know that taking your own life is a ticket to hell. For some people, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be free of whatever it is I'm going through and this, that, and the other. No, you just open the door. You just signed your ticket to hell, from what I understand and what I truly feel. And so I pray that whoever is on that verge or feel like that, I pray that they have someone in their lives that would help them through that if they don't know the Lord. I pray that they get to know God and that they allow God in and allow Him to help them through those situations. Because once I figured out that that's what was going on, I tried to look at things differently. And then I listened to Joyce one day, and she said, who wakes up in the morning and decide they want to be depressed? No. People need to stop saying that about people. There are some sick people out there that do that. And I say sick because they too have issues. There's something wrong where they need that attention. Okay? Do they wake up and decide, I need attention today? No. Again, there's something wrong. And so she says, but you do. You don't wake up feeling like, oh, I just want to be depressed today. But when you do wake up and you feel depressed, you have a choice of saying, no, not today. This is a part of her battlefield of the mind. And she's 100% correct in that statement. no, I'm not going to allow myself to be depressed today. I'm going to pray. I'm going to get in my word. I'm going to do something to pull me up out of this funk. I'm going to acknowledge it for sure. Right? I'm going to acknowledge it, that it's there and that it's real. But I'm also going to say not today. I've learned to do that. Because you get so many people that don't understand and be so quick to say, Get your mouth off people. Get your mouth off people. Stop judging. Stop assuming. Stop feeling like, because you know them so well that they're lying, or it's not this or it's not that. I don't care how well you know someone or think you know someone. There's always a possibility that your ass is wrong. Okay? It is not our place to put our mouths on them or judge anyone. And I remember doing that many times, y'all, when I was younger, growing up, looking at somebody and assuming and judging it based off what this one or that one say. No. I was so glad when I woke the heck up from that mess and decided to just be me. Me normally is a quiet and to myself person. I'm not one to get out there. Nope. Never have been. I only did that because I felt like I had to fit in. And even in order to do that, I had to drink myself into a stupor, right? So that I could be like everybody else. The hell with everybody else. Let me continue being me. Because being me was safe. Being me was happy. Even though I had my depressive moments, right? It was still a million times better than trying to be somebody else. I cannot be nobody other than who I am, and that's who God created me to be. God had already created a Patricia, so I can't be Patricia. I can't be Patricia. Those shoes are filled already. That role and position has been taken already. I am not Patricia. I am me. I am Kashina. That's it. That's all. Right? So I needed to spend more time learning about me, who I am, what I feel like, what I don't like, what I want, what I don't want, but instead of taking that time and those years to figure those things out, I was just basically winging it, just pretty much out there. And in some cases, just being out there, your different experiences that you go through, the people, the situations. If you got any sense, you'll learn from some of that. You'll learn from it. You'll realize, I don't like that. That ain't me. That person ain't for me. But yeah, this young lady, watching her, for a moment, my mind went there that I had to remind myself, don't do that. And so she went on to, she's cleaning. And she went on to say that, the reason what started her to clean like she was doing was because she got up and she could not find her keys, her car keys. She's like, I know where I put my keys. But she can't find them, and not where she put them. And she's looking. And she said, you know what, she just stopped looking and she prayed on it, and she went and started doing other stuff, and before you knew it, she was deep cleaning. And she said not even 10 minutes after she prayed to the Lord Jesus, help me find my key, that she found her keys, and they were exactly where she put them. She just overlooked it. She don't understand how she overlooked it, but she did. And she thought to herself, there's always a reason. Sometimes God allows things to happen so that you're able to see something else, or through you, someone else is able to see something else. For example, she couldn't find them keys. They weren't where she put them. Look at him. She said, but she felt like, and me too. As soon as she said it, I said, well, maybe that was the Lord telling you to get them clean that house. Deep clean your home. And that's exactly what she did. She cleaned, and she said that, I clean every day. She said, but, I'm assuming she has kids because, kids get busy. They get all over. And, sometimes you're thinking you got something up and you may not have cleaned it as good as you thought you did. You may have missed or overlooked something. So I'm thinking a lot of that may have had a lot to do with it. Because I can't see a person with no kids or even with one child home being as in disarray as hers was. But again, I don't judge. I don't know what her situation was or is. I just know that there was a lot that she had to clean. I mean, it was just, I was like, wow. And so she went on to say that, a lot of people, a lot of moms do videos of cleaning their homes and they get a lot of nasty comments and hates. How your home that nasty? And she says the same people that are putting their mouths on these moms are doing videos as well, cleaning their home as well. So how is it that you have your mouth on someone else? Well, I feel like a lot of people clean their home first and then they just leave a little mess here and there and then get on TV. So it's going to always look like their home is in order. They're just straightening up a few things, right? There are some people whose homes are really, really in order most of the time. They just have to touch up here and there. But there are a lot of us who the reality is not that. Right? So I agree 100%. Don't put your mouth on someone else if you don't know their situation. And even if you knew their situation, it is not your place, your job to judge. You pray for them and you keep moving. If you're not going to lend a hand or a kind word, pray and keep on moving. Shut up. The Lord says, who is that? My parents, not the Lord, but I might as well be God. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I've always been taught and raised that way. Shut your damn mouth. If you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Keep moving. Keep moving. People don't always need your negative, your ugly, your opinions. Keep moving. Keep moving. And then keep on living. I remember my mom telling me a long time ago because I was so irritated with her about some things. And she said, keep living. I remember hearing my grandma say the same thing. Keep living. I remember hearing my dad say the same thing. Keep living. Indeed, I did continue to live. Indeed, I did continue to experience some of the same things. My mouth, that tongue, that mouth, right, causes a lot of wars. It's like a match. It's like a match. The minute it starts going, that match is lit. Now, the question is, where you going to throw that match? Where you going to throw that lit match? You'll throw that lit match out there somewhere where oil is already saturated with a situation. You flick that match, your tongue, your mouth, and right? Chaos, war, drama. Be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of what you think, because what you think 9 times out of 10 is going to come out. One way or the other, it's coming out. Be mindful. Pray, let go, let God. Don't get in God's way. Don't give God the will and then take it back. Don't give God the will and then put your foot on the brake. Let go, release. And it's the hardest thing for a lot of us to do. Control. We gotta have control. Just like with me, when I'm driving a vehicle, I usually don't drive with my right shoe on because I feel like I have to have control, right? I have to have control. If my foot is on that pedal, there's nothing in between to make me think I'm touching the pedal or to make me feel like I'm touching it harder than I am, or not harder, or not as hard as I need to, because of the padding from your shoe, right? So my foot touching the shoe, my shoe touching the pedal. I'd rather my foot touch the pedal. Nothing in between. That makes sense. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, it just is what it is. And I've never caused an accident. Only accidents I've ever had was somebody hitting me. It was never me actually hitting someone, except once, and that fool was in the wrong, not me. But yeah, well, twice, and both times it wasn't me. It was not my fault. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's that. I'm going to come to you guys maybe a little bit later today, and we're going to read Lord, It's Me Again, and find a chapter to read and study on as far as God's Word is concerned. I really want to do more of that. I really want to try to get some exercise in, That is important. Now, my body definitely has changed as I've gotten older. I used to could just drop the weight like that. Now I've put on enough weight where if I am able to drop it, I now have to really exercise. Before I never really had to, but now I do, because I could drop the weight but I'll still have that skin. My stomach is actually in my lap, right? I've never had that in my life. Even with being pregnant, my stomach wasn't in my lap because, it's up. I'm carrying babies. But when I tell y'all, it's an uncomfortable feeling. Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. Like, yeah, I gotta get it together. I have to. And for me, it's not even so much the weight as it is when I gain weight, this portions, it distorts my body, if that makes sense, right? I'm already in a way shaped a little off, and so then when you put weight on that, it's gonna make it even worse. I'm already misproportioned. Bigger at the top, smaller at the bottom. Just like a freaking lollipop, right? Now you take a lollipop, the stick, and then the top, right? And you start to put weight on that stick. Now you got meat sticking out this way, meat sticking out that way. Now it's just formed wrong, right? And that's what I'm going through, right? And most of that weight is in my gut. So it just looks crazy, and it feels crazy and super stupidly uncomfortable. And I say stupid because and it's not always a good word. I remember my dad used to use that word all the time. He's like, you shouldn't call people stupid. And he said, listen, if you act stupid, it's stupid, right? And because of that, I know when my kids were little, I never wanted to call them stupid. I started saying, stop acting stupid. Same difference. To me, I thought that was nicer than just calling you stupid. My dad wasn't perfect, but he wasn't the worst dad in the world. My mom wasn't perfect, but she wasn't the worst mom in the world. I learned a lot from the both of them. I learned a lot from them together. I learned a lot from them separately. A heck of a lot. I learned a lot. And I can't say I had a bad childhood. I didn't. It may not have been everything that I would have wanted as far as family, your immediate family is concerned, because there was so much going on from time to time that I often disconnected myself. And I'm still that way, to be honest with you. Quite disconnected most of the time. Like I've always felt growing up, and I've always said this and probably always will, I've always felt like my dad and my middle sister had a closer relationship. My younger sister and my mom had a closer relationship. And then there was me. That's just the way it is and was, in my opinion. I felt I got along pretty much with everybody, sure. Because that's me. I love everybody. I don't have any hatred, any ugly, anything in my heart toward anybody. I try to love everybody and give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I'm not sitting around trying to put my mouth on anybody, judge anybody, complaining nothing that you're doing or not doing. I don't care. And I don't mean I don't care in an ugly way. I just mean that is your life. Live it. Live it. You have your experiences and things that you have to go through. I can't go through it for you. I can't live it for you. So why sit up and I just don't. I don't. When I'm at home, I'm not sitting up thinking about what this one did and what that one did and not doing. I just don't. Because why aggravate myself unnecessarily like that? Why fill my thoughts like that? Because how is that helping me? How is that helping anybody? It's not. So I just pray. When something does bother me, I just pray on it. I give it to the Lord. Back in the day, my ways of handling things was, I don't have to talk or communicate with nothing and nobody. I don't ever have to see you or talk to you again. And I'm still that way in a way. It's not always healthy. I have learned to love from a distance. It does not necessarily mean that I hate or dislike, because I don't. I just know that your mess ain't for me. I'm going to love you from a distance. I don't have to involve myself in that. Why? What for? So I'm going to love you over here. Right? Therefore, there's no reason for me to judge and to run my mouth. No. Sure life. If it's something that needs to be corrected, God, you'll figure it out. I just pray that the Lord keeps you safe while you're figuring it out, while you're going through. And that's for any and everybody. When I tell y'all, I don't pray no more for one more so than the other. I pray for everybody. Everybody. Everybody's going through something. The majority of us are going through the same things, just different situations, or how we handle it, or how we're thinking about handling it may be a bit different, or how the situation came about. Either way, some of us are going through some of the same things. Just pray. Pray. You may have come out of a situation on top, and you may be able to offer help for someone else to be able to come out on top. I would rather do that than put my mouth on you. Let's continue to pray for one another. Let's continue to lift one another up. And trust God. Chapo, do you have anything you want to talk to the people about, Chap? Not bite on my fingers. Is there anything you want to talk to the people about? Is there anything? No. Yeah, I had made myself, I had a taste for some dressing, stovetop yesterday, so I made some, right? And I had some turkey meat and lunch meat. And I forgot how this one loves turkey. Oh my God. He was all over me for that turkey. I was like, Chapo, I'm about to punch you in your ear. And I ended up giving him a piece of turkey meat. Boy, he tore that turkey meat up. I totally forgot how much this cat loves turkey. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. What? Tell you about biting all the time. You don't always have to bite to play. No. We're not doing that. Okay? If I don't bite you, you don't bite me. No. No. Thank you. No bite. Put your ears down. No bite. But I want to bite your finger. But I want to play with your... Look, if I can't bite, he said I'll just leave. Meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Come back. Meow, meow. Look. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. You can be. You just can't have your way. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. He said, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. Anyway, y'all see my couch. I had to put. It's such a beautiful couch. I had to put a throw over it because it's white. It's like an off-color white, and it's so filthy. I tried cleaning it when I first got it. Well, when Jeremiah first gave it to me, and I did a good job. That was one of the videos that was deleted because I cleaned it on camera with you guys. It was a pretty good job, but then, you know, sitting on it, all the fur and everything else, it went from being okay to back to being dirty. And then Chapo decided with his small brain was to put a hole in the material on the arm. So now, because I'm going around looking at, what's this yellow spongy stuff all over there? Came from the couch, the arm of the couch. So I have to get my white needle and thread and sew that up. And I've been meaning to do it, but just haven't gotten around to it. I'm thinking that I'm just gonna buy a fitted cover, which really sucks because this is a really beautiful couch and it's so heavy. When y'all look at it, you wouldn't think it is as heavy as it is. Like, this little bitty couch is heavier than this sectional. This sectional is just like cardboard paper, and I really wish that this part of this sectional was storage. That would have been really nice if that lifted up. And to be honest with y'all, I've never even tried. Let me just quick. Yeah, no. I was gonna say that'd have been something, but I wouldn't have been surprised. Sometimes you can have things and not even realize what you have. All that time I could have had storage and never even known it. As y'all can see, this all not even, I didn't comb out anything, I just pulled it back. So yeah, I'm still feeling and leaning toward blow drying it, because the more I put leave-in conditioner and stuff on my hair, the more I'm wearing out the color. As y'all can see, it's starting to get gray again. It don't last long for me because I'm constantly, my hair is constantly wet one way or the other. So yeah, anyway, again, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I don't have a lot this morning. I'm really struggling again. Like I said, as of late, yesterday I should have gotten up and done a lot of things. I was going to take Lavelle to work, go to the pantry, go to see if I can get an appointment for preventive, and then from there go to the store and just get a few things. But y'all, I could not get up. I could not get up. Like, what I mean is, after I cleaned up the kitchen, after I rearranged a little bit over there as much as I could, I had no energy to do anything else. I took a hot shower, and that was it. That was it. That was freaking it. I was on this couch for the rest of the day. Sleep, awake. It's just, I've been so tired lately, and I think it's more physical and mental than anything, which is physically draining me. Did I say that right? It's been more mental, which physically is draining me as well, if that makes sense. Because I don't feel sick. There are times when I do feel a little under weather. Aside from sinuses like that, that's undeniable. At times I feel like I'm fighting a cold or something. But again, I know that is from my sinuses. And sometimes my voice will go in and go out. Again, I believe still that that's the sinuses, because I don't feel like I have a cold or anything like that. I do need to wash. I do have a load of clothes that need to be washed. Yeah. I should get up and do that right now and get it out the way. Actually, it's 9:10. I really do need to do that and get it out the way, you guys. I really don't feel like it. I really don't. I need to do it, but I don't feel like it. And I'm so sick of saying, but I don't feel like it, but I don't feel like it. Why is it so quick and easy for your home to get dusty? I don't understand. Like, if I'm constantly wiping and cleaning, just like with that video I was talking about that lady. Well, correction, I do understand. I have a cat. So on top of just normal regular dust, you still have dust and fur and stuff from the cat. Okay, answer my own question. Let me go shut this drawer. My drawer is pulled out and he finna step his butt right in it. Kitchen's clean. My living room is pretty much clean too. I just need to wipe down my table, put my bedding up at some point. I turned the air conditioner off because I keep going from hot to cold. As y'all can see, some of my windows fell off. Pictures fell off the wall. But this is, I was trying to show y'all yesterday my office space, but it was so dark. I know that you really couldn't see it. But this is it. This is it. Right? And I really like it. You know, I hate that it's in my living room, but it's a lot more room than in that closet. It's the light when I need it. See? See here, I'm comfortable. Right? And this is from my chair. I have this blanket that I put there to kind of keep that from happening, but then it gets hot and the blanket ends up on the floor. This is the hair I had on. I just took it off yesterday, but here's my desk kind of, but also has my clothes down here. The bin has my clothes in it. Okay, I still have dishes full of medicine, pens, and all of that. The boxes down at the bottom. Here's another bin underneath with my clothes and stuff. And this other side over here has different sections where you can put stuff on. This just has to be wiped down. And this is how I have it to keep it up here. That's why I said I do need to get it a divider. Let me show y'all what it looks like when that's pulled down. Go ahead and turn light back off. So I had this up right now because just to give it some you know, air. But normally I just take this out. Okay, and then this. There you go. And that's my little space, office space. See? That's a pillow case up there. That's how I did that. So you got your little space. And yeah, it can be kind of eyesore-ish. But for right now, it's doing the job. It's serving the purpose. The reason why I put it there works. You know, so no complaints there at all. No complaining at all. We're gonna put my pillowcase on here, and in that same space. Chapo think is his office too. He really do. My Bill Gates. Anyway, guys, so that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Okay? Have a great morning, Sunday morning. Please remember to say your prayers. You know what? Before we go, let's go ahead and read Lord, it's me again. And I said it was June 12th, right? June 12th is God of Safety. And y'all, my grandkids, one particular, God of Safety. Those who go to God Most High for safety will be protected by the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, you are my place of safety and protection. You are my God, and I trust you. Psalms 91, 1 and 2. We all applaud the heroism of the young boy David when he took on the giant Goliath. Or the boldness of Moses when he confronted Pharaoh about freeing the Israelites. But do we recognize that the same safety given to them has been given to us? They were regular people like us who understood the power of the God they served. Whatever you are facing right now, God is more than able to rescue you and keep you safe in the midst of it. I'm sorry, y'all. I smell cigarette smoke. Ugh. And it's gotten hot. Yeah, I smell cigarette smoke. I hope y'all still be able to hear me good. God, I want to have the kind of radical trust that these biblical heroes had. Give me the boldness that I need to be a believer who walks in your power. Amen. Amen. I think the best way to do that is to study His Word. Study His Word. Study His Word. Lean on what He says. And it will get you stronger and stronger. Like, meditate on His Word. Feed your soul, right? Feed your spirit, as opposed to our bodies so much. Put more food in our physical. In our spiritual than what we do in our physical. My dad used to always say, if you feed one dog more than the other, the one you feed the most will be the strongest, right? Whereas the one you feed the less will be the weakest. So if you're feeding your physical body, you know, my little fat body, if I'm constantly stuffing my mouth and feeding this little fat body of mine, it's going to continue to grow. But if I feed my spirit more, my spiritual will grow more, and I will be able to hear God much clearer, right? There will be no mistaking or no misunderstandings. I will be able to hear Him much clearer, right? I won't have to go through so much, because if I was doing what I was supposed to do, I would have been able to hear Him the first time. But because I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to do and I can't hear Him as clearly, I'm going to make some mistakes, right? When I could have avoided those mistakes in the first place. Also, for a lot of people, life is Goliath for them. Their job is Goliath for them. Their significant others or one or multiple of their children can be Goliath, right? I read Goliath, but you can put, in my opinion, any overwhelming, any huge or giant situation in your life that you're unable to manage or control, or that's killing you or trying to kill you. To me, that is your Goliath. And you have to be able to trust God to help you defeat that Goliath in your life, to manage that situation, to control that situation, to fix that situation, right? We have to trust God. We have to trust God, right? There could be certain people at your job that are, or even the boss, him or herself, could be Pharaoh. You know, you can compare it to Pharaoh. You know, there are so many different situations in our lives that we go through and deal with on a regular basis that we would rather not. And that is making things so difficult. Depression, diseases, certain sicknesses, certain illnesses can be that Goliath in your life, or that Pharaoh in your life. And to overcome it, to defeat it, we have to trust God, right? Knowing that God is God, He got us. He's going to protect us, right? But in order for Him to keep us safe, and in order for Him to protect us, we have to do what He says to do, right? Some people say, well, that's like making me do what you want me to do in order to pray. Think about it. If you got a kid that's running out in the street and about to get hit, and you tell that kid, stop, and they don't listen, they don't do what you tell them to do, they continue to run, smack, when they could have just listened to you and stopped when you said stop, their life would have been spared or saved, right? Some people they may not have gotten killed, but they may have gotten seriously injured, right? Some may actually get killed. The point is, you have to follow rules. You have to, whether you want to or not. Life is like that, you know. There are rules. The Lord gave us in the beginning. There were commandments, right? We had to follow those commandments, right? Now that we are in a new dispensation, we're no longer under law, we're under grace, but we still have to remember those commandments. Just because we don't have to live by them. No, because if you live by that, you die by that. But that don't mean don't use your freaking common sense. If the Lord says don't go out there murdering people, don't go out there murdering people, right? Just because we're in grace, in a grace dispensation, don't mean, oh, it's okay to go murder. God gonna forgive us. Let's just be smart. You know, let's just try to do the right thing. You know that there's nothing good about that. You know, who are we to take someone's life? We didn't give them that life. God gave it to them. Who are we to come and try to take somebody's life? You know, or take control of somebody's life. Life don't belong to us. That life don't belong to us. So anyway, guys, I think I've said enough. Thank you for hanging out with me this far. I appreciate you. Please remember to say your prayers, not just for your family, friends, and loved ones, but for all of our brothers and sisters in Christ. Remember to treat people the way God does and would. And continue to expect great things. Even if things are not the way you want them to be, it's okay. Continue to expect great things to happen to you, through you, and for you. Even this very moment, I'm expecting great things to happen to me today. I'm expecting something great to happen through me today. I'm expecting something great to happen to me today, okay? Because I trust and believe in God. The fact that I woke up this morning sheltered, clothed, in my right mind, the fact that my son got to work safely today and will get home safely, the fact that God woke up my family members, all my brothers and sisters in Christ, whether I know them or not, the fact that somebody went to sleep last night and they may have went to sleep worried, concerned, but they woke up and had a fresh start, a fresh look on things, another day to get out there and do it differently. That's a blessing. That's God. That's something happening, and I appreciate that, because God didn't have to. It didn't have to be that way. It did not have to be that way. So I'm very grateful, very thankful for each and every one of you. Yeah. So, talk to you guys later. Again, have an amazing Sunday. Bye now. Good afternoon, you guys. It is still Sunday, 2:24 p.m. I feel like it's Monday already. I hope you guys had a great day. I did not do anything since I talked to y'all this morning. I actually spent the whole day trying to record one freaking video. It's been a while, and yeah, I spent the whole day trying to record one video. We didn't really watch anything. I did clean out the plant bowl, my plant, and put fresh water in there. I did take the when I showed y'all this morning, this one had a plant sticking out at the bottom. Well, I put it over in here, if y'all can see. So this one has, I think, 7 or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves. One of these had 4, and a total here is 7. One had 3, one had 4. And so yeah, I'm hoping that they all continue to grow and flourish. I did get my spray bottle over there so that I can give them a little spritz. So yeah, I did that. I did get up and take a shower. I re-wet my hair and tried to blow dry it. Had a difficult time. The brush kept slipping off. My comb is broke. You know, it has maybe, it's like broke in the middle here and there. So it just wasn't blow drying properly. Like, this is ridiculous. This should be actually much straighter and just better than what it is. As y'all can see, it's very damaged. It's very it's not completely dry. The more I was drying it in that hot bathroom, the hotter I got, the more I sweat. Right? So I pulled out the flat irons. I was gonna flat iron it. Same thing, it just was too hot. So far this is what I'm working with, and as you can see, it's very damaged. So yeah, it smells a little bit like curling iron, because flat irons, because I was trying to flatten it. I just got up, I couldn't do it anymore. It just got too hot, too frustrated, and I'm over it. I'm over it. As the days go on, I will go ahead and try to do something with it, but I just need my stuff, my Dr. Miracle, because it is damaged, and me constantly putting water on it is not helping. Yes, I have the leave-in conditioner, but as you can see, my hair is back to almost completely in the front gray, like as if it was never dyed, because everything's being constantly, the color's been constantly wiped out. Sorry guys, my throat itch, but it is what it is. All back here still feel a little damp. It really does. Yeah, it's definitely still a little damp, but I'm over it. That bathroom is hot. I'm over it. Okay, so again, I still look a little weird, but it's okay. It's all good. We've all been there. Now I understand sometimes you see even actors and actresses, they sometimes you be like, oh, that money, why they look crazy? Sometimes you just get tired. You're over it. My face is breaking out right here, but that's because I was sweating and I kept using that towel, and it actually was just rubbing a little too hard instead of just damping. But yeah, anyway, she's very damaged, very, very damaged, and I think it's about time to go in and chop it. To be honest, my face irritated. I need cream on my face. What you say? Pudgy? Yeah. Was you talking to me or the cat? Yeah, so yeah, I definitely have to do something. I'm thinking about what you looking at? What? So I've been looking like, did you say something? I was thinking about twisting it out, and just in the mornings get up and untwist it and let it go like that. But again, that would take time as well. and just don't. I don't know, as of late, y'all, I just have no desire to care much. And that's a horrible thing to say, but I'm being honest. And I know I'm not the only one. It just sometimes get in that space in life where it's just like, whatever. You know, that's how I feel a lot of times. It's just whatever. But anyway, I'm just gonna go to pull it back. Like this. Yeah, my ear itches on the inside. Throat itching, so I know it's allergies and sinuses. We already know that, so no need to talk about it. But yeah, so this is it. This is it. Da-da-da. Yeah, this is it. Put my head on. That's what I'm going to do. Put my head on. Now for work. I'm not sure really what I want to do for work. You know, if I'm going to leave it down or whatever, I don't know. I'm just so tired of it turning gray right now. White, whatever, silver. I'm tired of that. You know, if I can keep it up in a ponytail, first get my Dr. Miracle, all my Dr. Miracle products, and then keep it back in a ponytail. And I know big old poofy ponytail like the curly one I have, a curly one, but nice and simple, because it's just too hot for all of that. But I just keep it pulled back nice and neat, right? Without having to put a lot of stuff on it, and keep it braided. I'll be happy. So maybe I'll invest in that, because I don't want, maybe at this point I don't even need to do that. You know, maybe at this point I just need to invest myself in a simple little cheap wig and just take my hair and just braid it back like I used to. That's what I think I may do. Because a wig, you can take it off and take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on. You too hot, take it off. That's what I can do. And take my hair and just braid it all of it. Just keep it braided back nice and neat. Take it down once a week. Once a week and re-braid it. That's what I'm going to do, y'all. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I am going to do. The next time I get some monies, I'm going to go online and just find myself a cute little curly wig, you know, about right here, Bobby like, and call it a day. Anyway, y'all, good night. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Dun, 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 dun. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. That's Welcome Back, Carter, I think. If I ever show you my age. It's a picture that used to come on. I don't know if y'all have ever seen it, but it was good. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye now.